Hello everyone, this is Anjum. Welcome to Sahitya Abhyasa Academy. Today I am going to give a class on Biography of Plato. Yes, the Plato who is known as a great Greek philosopher, is a student of Socrates and a teacher to Aristotle. And known for, and also the founder of, what is that? Founder of academy in Athens, who is this is for the higher learning. It is an institution of a higher learning in the Western world. High learning institution of high learning in Western world. Yes, and also he laid his own groundwork for the much about the Western philosophy, especially in the field of metaphysics, beyond your thought, ethics, politics, and epistemology, about knowledge. So this is what his importance in the Greek literature. He is a great Greek philosopher. Yes, and one thing, what he has mentioned, in which thing he is known for his greatness, means reality. What is that? Reality is more than what we see, or it's what we think. So such a great words from Plato. Reality is more than what we see. Whatever you have seen in before your eyes, that is not reality according to Plato. What beyond that seen the things, the thing which is lays beyond the thing, is that is reality. If you see a person, that is not reality. His soul is reality. His soul is reality, which is not appearable in the society. Getting my point? So this is what reality is, more than what we see. It is what we think. Huh? Reality means like soul, beauty, truth, honest. Such things we cannot see this one. Am I right? So such kind of a things is called as a reality according to Plato. Let's begin the biography of Plato. His birth, name, full name Plato, originally as a Aristocles. Yes, his origin name is Aristocles, born in 427 BCE in Athens, in Greece. One of a famous philosopher, Greek philosopher. Yes, died at the age of 80 in Athens itself. Born into the aristocratic family. Yes, he belonged to the aristocratic family. And his father, Aristotle, claimed descent from the Athenian kings. Means Athenian kings means his family belongs to royal family. They are the ancestor one. Ancestor one means their family belongs to ancestral royal family, and they are nothing but the ancestor who were Athenian kings. Ancestrals anta ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಪೂರ್ವಿಕಾಲಕರು somewhat. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಾಯಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಿಂದ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡು ಅರಿಸ್ಟೋಕ್ರಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಅಥೇನಿಯನ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಯಾರು? ಪೆರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸೋಲೋನ್. ಪೆರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮದರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಅ ಫೇಮಸ್, ಇವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಲಾಯರ್, ಇವ್ರ ಫಾದರ್. mother's father. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಪೆರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಫಾದರ್ ಯಾರ್ರಿ? ಸೋಲೋನ್, ಅ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಲಾಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪೋಯೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನೋಬೆಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ತಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮೆಂಟರ್ ಯಾರು? ಸಾಕ್ರೆಟ್ಸ್. ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ ವಾಸ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ, ಫೇಮಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಯಾರು? ಅರಿಸ್ಟಾಟಲ್, ಹೂ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ ಫಾರ್ 20 years, ಅಪ್ ಟು 20 yearsವರೆಗೂ ಅರಿಸ್ಟಾಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ ಅವರ ಅಧೀನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಅವರಿಂದ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ ಅ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ಎಸ್, ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆನಾ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಸಾಕ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ಎಸ್, ಅರಿಸ್ಟಾಟಲ್, Plato, especially they gave the importance on art, literature, culture and democracy. By during this time, they took such kind of a education, a classic Greek anta helbodu. Okay na, especially language and culture of Greek land. Okay, unlike music, gymnastics, mathematics and poetry and philosophy. Usually we have seen the language and culture of Greek country, a Greek land, that is what called during this time. ಇದೊಂದು ನಾವು ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಎರಾ, ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಏಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಕ್ರೇಟ್, ಪ್ಲೇಟೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅರಿಸ್ಟಾಟಲ್ ಒಂದು ಯುಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ರೀ, ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಏಜ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ in that literature part, and especially Plato has received so much qualified or a high kind of education like music, gymnastics, mathematics, poetry and philosophy. Next, he planned to become a political, means he planned a political career but was deeply disturbed by the execution of Socrates in 399 BCE. He just wanted to take the entry in politics and he want to become, his career can be made in a by taking entry in a political field somewhat, but deeply disturbed by, means who is that? Socrates. Socrates was sentenced to the death. Who is that? The Athenian court. Who did this one? Athenian court take the life of, means sentenced to Socrates because of youth corrupting. He does the work as a youth corrupting. Because he does the work of youth corrupting and not believing in the city of God. He teaches, Socrates teaches that not showing the belief of in city gods, so he is corrupting the youths. For this reason, the Athenian has sentenced to death. For this reason, he deeply disturbed by the death of his teacher, that is Socrates. So which turned him towards to philosophy permanently. So which he came out from the political field to political career to takes the entry in a philosophical world, means permanently. What is philosophy? What is truth? What is beauty? Why human beings are existence? What is the reality of their existence? What is soul? What is reality? What is false? Such kind of a philosophical things. He shows so much interest to learn such kind of a philosophy, and he proved in his work also. Okay, fine. Next, after Socrates' death, Plato traveled widely. Egypt, Italy, Sicily, learning from various traditions. Very nice. What kind of tradition can be seen in Italy, in Egypt and Sicily? By visiting there, he has gained so much knowledge, so much traditional knowledge, everything in his life. So finally, we can see the academy, the first university of Western world. Yes, like academy, the first university of Western world. In 387 BCE, Plato founded the academy in the Athens, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. Yes, in that Western world, we can see the one of the prosperous academy in Athens, which is established by or founded by Plato. Okay, it lasted nearly 900 years and became the foundation of Western philosophy education. So after this we can see the foundation of Western philosophical education in here. So what is that Western philosophy? It is about ideas, values, knowledge, which is originated from the Western culture, especially like Socrates, Plato. Of course, Aristotle's thoughts also included in that Western philosophy. So here in that foundation of Western philosophical education is started from Plato, Socrates and Aristotle too. So here furthermore, what is that Western philosophical education means? Studying about the ethics, politics, metaphysics, which helps such topics takes to the modern world in a critical way, in a critical thinking. Getting my point? So this is about what we can see in the Athens, one of a great institution for the higher learning. Okay, next. So he is famous for his famous students. Aristotle, Plato's famous student, Aristotle, Spheusipus, you only pronounce this one, and Plato's nephew and others. What about the major works of Plato? Plato wrote around 35 philosophical works, mainly as a dialogue. Most famous among them, the first one is Republic, the most important work where we can see the so many topics has been used in that work or give the information about that words like justice. What is justice according to Plato? What is ideal society? What is theory of forms? Yes, what is theory of form? What is philosopher's king? What is censorship? Education censorship. Okay, so before that, yes, and soul, allegory of the cave, slow soul, and also these are the things where we can see in the work of Republic. What is that? Education censorship, controlling and restricting what is taught, what is read or discussed in school and education institution. Means sometimes we can see the education censorship meaning means this can including about banning books, limiting topics. Such kind of a institution we should not teach in that institution, like poetry. Getting my point? We should ban these poets and their works. So this is what called education censorship. Okay. What about the allegory cave of meaning? It is a kind of, see, allegory cave of meaning means how people can live in ignorance. How people can live in ignorance. Ajnana means how the people are living in their life, means leading their life in an ignorance way, means shadow of reality. Unless they are educated and guided the truth through the reasons. So here we can see that shadow is not a reality. If whatever you see the object in the world, in the society, in the nature, it should not give the shadow. If it gives the shadow means that is not part of reality. This kind of a education, this kind of a knowledge is provided by the Plato, the people called ignorance people. So such kind of a concept can be seen in the concept of allegory of the cave. Okay, fine. Next, what about the second work? Apology. Socrates' defense speech at his trial. Plato captures his teacher's courage and philosophical spirit. What kind of courage and philosophical talent has been in the uh, man called his teacher? So he captured those are the ideas, spirits means philosophical spirits and courage, and we can see the reflection of his teacher's courage and philosophical spirits in this work. And discuss what about Pado discusses soul's immortality and the moments before Socrates' death. Soul's immortality, yes, we can see the Socrates before death. What are the things called as a immortality? Means soul's immortality. We can see in this work. And sympoism, the term coined by Plato. Keep this thing. Okay, dialogue about the nature of love introduces the concept of platonic love. Yes, introduce the concept of platonic love. Platonic love means non-romantic. Yes, it should be love or a friendship based on intellectual and spiritual connection. That is what called platonic love. We can see this thing in the term of in the work of sympoism. Next, Meno explores virtue, whether it can be taught, and introduce the idea of recollection. Anaminis. See, this is also a term coined by Plato. What it tells? It can be taught and introduce the idea of recollections. Huh? Virtue means strength, courage, skill, intelligence, and boldness. These are the where ideas where we need to recollect. Those are the things. And Gorgias. This is also work. Discussion about the rhetoric and the true philosophy argues that doing wrong is worse than the suffering it. Rhetoric, the power of writing, that is poetry, versus true philosophy, argues that both way putting in a arguing. Doing wrong, poetry is doing a wrong thing than the suffering gate. So doing wrong is worse than the suffering. It is better to suffer, but we should not do a wrong things. Wrong thing is doing by poetry itself. So better to we remove from this society, from the education. Somewhat words of Plato. Timus, a mix of science, cosmology, and metaphysics. We can see these are the things in this work. Laws. Plato's last and the longest work discuss practical law making and governance. Yes, what are the law and making and a governance should be in a society to become an ideal society, less idealistic than the republic. If there is practical, discuss the practical law making and governance, less idealistic than the republic. We can see that is only ideal society. To make this ideal society, what kind of a law should be there, what kind of a governance should be there. It should be in an idealistic way, not idealist. It should be idealistic way. Okay, fine. That is we can see in a republic. So let's see. The key philosophical concepts are theory of forms. True reality lies in eternal beauty, truth, honest. Perfect forms ideas, not in the material words. Whatever we are observed in the society, in the world is called material world. It shouldn't. Yes, we cannot see the true reality in this. Instead that we can see the eternal things. That reality is in eternal things. That is what called theory of forms. Tripartite soul means human soul has a three-part: reason, spirit, and desire. By these three things we can see the soul. Yes, we can divide the soul in a three-part: reason, intellectual, spirit, soul. Whatever desires are, that is material kind of a world. Philosopher king, what it gives the concept? Only those who know the truth are fit to rule society. Very nice. Chase to know, chase to get knowledge about truth, beauty, knowledge, honesty, not to worldly happiness or desiring things. Yes, the person who knows about complete about what is truth, he is only have a right to rule in this world. Should not be like a ignorance. Should not lead your life like a ignorance one. Should know what is truth. Shadow is a not real. The soul is real because it does not have shadow. Such kind of a truth, the person who got, he only able to lead in this society. Allegory of the cave, what it tells? People live in a illusion. Yes, illusion. Kind of imagination world, imaginary world. Unless they seek the real knowledge through the reason. They don't know. Yes, what is the real knowledge? How to get real knowledge? Huh? How to reach towards to real knowledge? What are the ways I should follow that one? So, by avoiding the real knowledge, they live in a life called illusion. Yes, truth is life. Leading life means person. This is what called ignorance. Truth is soul. This is what the thought of Plato, which tries to tell to the world. Okay, and Platonic love, a pure and non-physical form of love that leads the soul toward to the truth. Very nice. The like we can see the Buddha, Mahavira, they chase to find out the real existence of human being by sacrificing their life. Yes, not by choosing to the love, a physical love. If we leave this thing, we can find out the reality of life. This is what called Platonic love. Fine. My miss. Art is imitation, and it twice removed from the truth. He criticized poets on this basis. Mimes, imitation. Mimes means it is an imitation, twice removed from the truth. There is a tree, yes, and the reflection of the tree, and whatever he is going to write about the tree, so two times removed from the truth. Then what is originality in his poem? This is what the words of Plato can see the term in mimes. Okay na? Term coined by Plato. Very important. Okay. Next. Achievements and legacy. Founded Western philosophy as a formal discipline. Yes. Whatever you have learned, the Western philosophy, yes, it is a for discipline one. Refers to systematic study of systematic, yes, systematic study of formal education, like fundamental questions. Systematic study of fundamental questions about what is reality, what is knowledge, what is mortality, what is mind, what is society. Huh? To develop such kind of a questions is called Western philosophy as a formal education. Establish the academy model for future universities. Yes, if you see the model of this academy, what are the terms and condition it is following, you should follow that one. My academy only gives the importance to reality, truth, not to the lies. You should follow this one also. Somewhat means it gives the kind of a model upcoming future universities. Created the concept of ideal philosophy, idealist philosophy. What are the idealistic philosophy? It should idealize to everyone and it should follow to everyone. How to search truth, how to seek knowledge. Yes, what is real existence of human being, life. This is what the idealistic concept, where such kind of a concept it is created by. This is what his achievement. And his works influenced by the Christian theology, Islamic philosophy, Renaissance thinkers and modern logic. Modern logic. So here we can see how the Christian theology also follow the words of Plato and Islamic philosophy. His works influenced on the, yes, Plato's thoughts, and Renaissance thinker also follow the steps of Plato. Even modern logic too. So this is how his words, his works, his concept has influenced on in many culture. Developed metaphysical ethics, politics, and epistemology, means theory of knowledge and education system. This is what his one of achievement. Metaphysics, ethics, politics, is epistemology and education system. His writings preserve Socratic wisdom for future generation. Whatever he put the words to in their works, it is the reflection of Socrates' wisdom, which helps to the future generation. Influenced key are Aristotle, Platonis, Augustine, Descartes, Kant, Hegel, and beyond. So his philosophy has influenced on many more writers. Let's last part is death. Plato died around 347 BCE in the Athens, buried near the academic grounds. And influence has lasted over 2300 years. No other philosopher has shaped thought so widely. Very nice. Such kind of a philosophy he has contributed to the world called literature. We cannot compare such kind of a great literary writer, literary critic. Such means he has got so much prosperity in this world. Means he has his influence has lasted over till now. Also we study a Plato's work. This is what his influence on literary world. And till now whatever I had told on the biography of Plato, we can see the small reflection of summary. Founder of Western philosophy, exactly, author of Timeless Dialogue, and thinker of truth, justice, and ideal society, mentor to Aristotle, founder of academia, and immortal influence on global thought. So this is what overall summary of his biography. Hope so you have understood the biography of, that is, Plato. Okay friends, okay dears, shall see the objection of poetry, one of his concept in my next class. Until, take care, bye bye, thank you.